Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
First carry for James Conner. 7 yards there and a first down. The Falcons at 500, 7-7 on the year. And they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back. To throw is Watson. Will be incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up. Let's go now.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go, set.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Mills. They'll roll him out right. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
4 yards remain for second down. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Mills. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
Patterson's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
He's going to let it go again. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Harris going to get it again on second down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Called fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Mills now. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern, because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 6-0 our score after 1. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Brian Burns in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there. And if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are. And I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist. Because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Under pressure, they got him again. Brian Burns. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Hey, 31! Hey, 31!
Back to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus Jones picks it.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder, because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Mills. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Mills. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit, because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down. On
is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Watson. This one finds Wilson downfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. Quick throw completed by Watson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 4-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now a first down throw, Watson. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Watson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Well, this is a football game, right?
It is.
How you like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach is talking to his offense.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Harris running straight ahead. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. They'll run again with Harris. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Mills to throw it. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Here's Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. And even 50 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mills. He'll get that one to Carter, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Throwing, Mills. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. With Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Patterson's kick is good. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Harris. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 31, Mills. He's airing it out for Williams. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, Mills. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Watson. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. So the completion good for 7 there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Watson off play action. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Following the fumble recovery, Mills, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mills looking for his man on the out route, and he's got Diggs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Mills from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Falcons are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Joe.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. When you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Watson. And he slings one that's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Watson now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mills. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Play fake, Mills. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They'll try the right side with Harris. And some room to roam now. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 63 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Patterson's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards, the final tally.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, Watson. Rotates ETN along the sideline. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. To throw is Watson. ETN bringing in another one. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Oh, no, he lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession. And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Marcus May with a pick, and the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust. Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They run again with Harris. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 77 yards on the ground for him so far. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Mills now. And that is incomplete. Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Pulled in at the 24. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive. And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time. And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now. Here's Watson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Set. Put it down.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there. And that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get. So really, you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watson. He finds Wilson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
To throw, Watson.
Throw left side complete. That's more. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now Watson.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Watson to throw.
And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. The quick slant caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Third and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. Now it's Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, you know they're going to look his way in the 2-minute drill, but that time he was blanketed, and they forced the incompletion. May need some teammates to step up in this spot.
Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2. One last throw here for Watson. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point
Some
conversion.
sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.
So for the Cowboys, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, this loss really hurts their playoff chances as they drop to 7-8 with 2 games left. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with